Hi guys, today we are going to read a book about Independence Day. You can see the picture on the cover there. There are some awesome fireworks going on. Well, how do you celebrate Independence Day? Maybe it's time to get together with family, celebrate with a picnic, a cookout, and then go watch fireworks. Well, we're going to find out, why do we have Independence Day? Why do we celebrate with fireworks? Why is that going on? So we're going to read this book. Here's our cover page, Independence Day. This is a nonfiction book. It's going to give us some real information, true facts about the 4th of July. Here's our table of contents. What is Independence Day? Great question. That's what we want to find out. Well, Independence Day is America's birthday. This holiday is on July 4th each year. It's sometimes called the 4th of July. Many Americans celebrate with parades, fireworks, picnics, and patriotic songs. Americans celebrate Independence Day at the nation's capital. So here is our capital in Washington, D.C. Lots of celebrations going on there. It is our birthday, our country's birthday. The 4th of July story. In the 1770s, a long time ago, 1770s, America was made up of 13 colonies. King George III was King of England. He ruled the colonies and made all their laws. Many people wanted to be free from the laws and rules of England. Well, England and the 13 colonies went to war over independence in 1775. This was called the Revolutionary War. Famous men such as George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson led the fight for freedom. And King George III was the ruler of England. There's our picture there of King George. And he was a ruler of England and of the 13 colonies. Well, the colonies, they didn't like that, so they went to war for their independence. In 1776, members of the Second Continental Congress made plans to break away from England. They met at the State House in Philadelphia. They chose Thomas Jefferson to write America's Declaration of Independence. John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Livingston, and Roger Sherman helped him write it. We have a picture. The caption reads, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Livingston, John Adams, and Roger Sherman in 1776. So they had to meet and discuss and figure out what that was going to look like, the Declaration of Independence. Many members of the Congress signed Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. This piece of paper said the colonies were free and independent from England. Now the 13 colonies were called the United States of America. So it was their declaration. When you declare something, you are letting everyone know. And that was their Declaration of Independence. 56 people disobeyed King George III by signing their names. This was against the law. If the United States lost the Revolutionary War, the men who signed would be punished. Their lives were in danger. July 8, 1776 was an important day in America. The Liberty Bell rang and people gathered at the State House in Philadelphia. Colonel John Nixon read the Declaration of Independence to everyone. Thousands of people celebrated. And then there's our picture. First reading of the Declaration of Independence was held in Philadelphia. So there's a picture of it showing what it was like. Remember, these aren't real pictures, no cameras back then. In 1776, people had to hand deliver messages to one another. Men on horses took copies of the Declaration of Independence to people all over the 13 colonies. There was no social media. There was not even a good mail system, no news. You can't turn on the TV or the radio. So men actually on horses took copies all over. The Revolutionary War was not over, but people celebrated. This was the first step toward the independence from England. Americans burned symbols of England in huge bonfires, watched soldiers march in parades, and fired cannons. Here's a picture of the Declaration of Independence. I have one hanging up on my wall. I'll show you in just a minute. The Declaration of Independence was written in 1776. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence in 1776. Its words were famous. It said, "All men are created equal." It also stated that each person has a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This says that all citizens have the same rights. This piece of paper also said the colonies were free from England's laws. Thomas Jefferson explained the reasons why. The Declaration of Independence was approved by the Congress on July 4th, 1776. That's why 4th of July is so important. The first Independence Day. 1 year later, on July 4th, 1777, people gathered in Philadelphia to celebrate freedom. Philadelphia had the first Independence Day. This was a time of confusion. The United States and England were still at war. The Revolutionary War did not officially end until 1783. Still, people celebrated their new country's birthday. On July 4th, 1777, bells chimed. Ships fired 13 shots in honor of the 13 colonies. Soldiers marched in parades through the streets. Fireworks and bonfires lit up the night skies. People lit candles in their windows to show they were patriotic. There was even a special dinner. And we have a painting here, a picture. It says, "Americans knocked down the statue of King George III in 1776 to celebrate independence." So they did not want any signs of that old King George. They wanted their independence. Becoming a national tradition. Soon, other cities around the United States had celebrations on July 4th. Each year, important people gave speeches about freedom. Marching bands played songs like Yankee Doodle. The Centennial Celebration in 1876. Here's a picture. The Centennial Celebration meant 100 years of freedom. The Centennial of America's Independence was 1876. Celebrations were held all over the country. Celebrations lasted well into the night with fireworks, music, and cheering. America's bicentennial happened in 1976. People across the United States celebrated freedom. Bells rang. President Gerald Ford gave a speech. There were gun salutes and ship parades. Fireworks lit up the night skies. That was celebrating 200 years of freedom. Well, we're going to talk now about symbols of independence, the flag. The flag symbolizes the United States of America. The flag's 7 red stripes and 6 white stripes stand for the original 13 colonies. 50 white stars represent 50 states. Many people fly their flag on the 4th of July and other special occasions. And so here's a picture of the flag. Maybe you have a flag hanging somewhere in your house. I have a small flag here I like to keep. And I think it's neat. It says those stripes, there are 13 of them for the 13 colonies. And the star, the flag, the field with the stars is for the 50 states. And you can see I have my patriotic shirt on. I have my patriotic wreath hanging there. Some other symbols, the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell has become a symbol of freedom. The word liberty means to be free. The Liberty Bell is part of American history. For this reason, people honor it. The Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty is in New York City on Liberty Island. It was a gift from France to celebrate America's independence from England. Millions of immigrants saw the Statue of Liberty when they first came to America. So here are some of those symbols of freedom. You can see the Liberty Bell and the Statue of Liberty in New York City. Celebrations today. Today, Americans celebrate Independence Day. Many people honor the holiday the same ways they did more than 225 years ago. People celebrate Independence Day with fireworks. The American flag is a symbol of freedom and is often seen on Independence Day. So there's still fireworks today we celebrate. And then, those flags showing, which is a symbol of the freedom that we have. Independence Day is a time of fun and celebration for many families. Many cities host celebrations. Customs include parades, fireworks, and barbecues. Many people fly the flag and listen to marching bands play songs like Yankee Doodle Dandy. Some people decorate with red, white, and blue colors. Others play games or spend the day at beaches, parks, or lakes. Independence Day is about freedoms of the United States of America. This book has a nice glossary with some important words, and then also some websites that you can go to. Lots of fun things you can do on the web as well. So that is our book, Independence Day. You can notice I get my books from the library. I hope you use your library. Go and check out lots of fun books. This was an informational book. It is nonfiction. We learned some true facts about Independence Day. I'm going to show you my copy of the Declaration of Independence. 1 minute. All right, so here's my copy of the Declaration of Independence. I have it framed, hanging up on the wall because I think it's a really important document. Sorry for getting a little bit of a glare. I love these documents. You can get them online, a replication. You can see what it looked like in Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration that the 13 United States of America. So you can look closely at this and read it. It's kind of small. Can you imagine the handwriting that Thomas Jefferson had as he wrote this? I love looking at the signatures at the bottom. Look at John Hancock. He made a statement about the king seeing his signature, so he made it nice and big. But it's fun to look at all of those signatures. So if you get a chance to get a document like this, a replication of it, you can look closely at all of those names. There's Thomas Jefferson. Sorry, this is going in and out on my focus. Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin. Looking at some of those famous people and their signatures. Very fancy handwriting they had. There's Sam Adams, John Adams. So if you get a chance, or if you are in Washington, D.C., you can go National Archives and look at a copy of the Declaration of Independence. Keep studying, keep learning, have fun with our history.